Hello and welcome to Successful Journey Network. I'm so happy that you've joined me. Today we're going to talk about paradigms. What is your paradigm? We're going to discover how we have generational paradigms that have influenced our lives throughout the generations and talk about how we can change those paradigms, how they influence us. Um, the old thinking, the old way of thinking that no longer serves us, um, and how to change that. Do you remember when your parents would ask, "Why'd you do that?" And you'd just reply, "I don't know." Or, "What do you mean you don't know? You know better." "I know. So why'd you do it?" "I don't know." That kind of conversation, it probably leaves us with the idea that we should do it because we know how to do better. However, this logic is missing a critical point. And we were never taught that knowing and doing parts of us are separated. The knowing and doing part is separated. And our conscious mind is the part of our personality that gathers information. That's the knowing part. However, it's the subconscious mind that causes the action. That's the doing. So, what we know how to do is not always in sync with the part of our mind that controls what we do habitually. And what causes this gap? One thing is paradigms. And a paradigm can be likened to a program that has been installed in your subconscious mind. It's a mental program that has almost exclusive control over your habitual behavior. And when you think of it, you realize that virtually all of your behavior is part of a routine. For instance, you follow a routine when you get up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, and the way you eat, exercise, work, relax, the conversations you have, and the time from when you wake up to go to sleep at night. These are all habits. Although everyone has a paradigm, most of us don't create it ourselves. We inherit it through our genetics, our environmental condition. For example, you were programmed by your parents and your ancestors, the DNA and their beliefs. And it goes back generations. And that's not all. When you were a young child, any ideas you were exposed to, you repeatedly were like, it was like seeds being planted in the soil of your subconscious mind because couldn't you couldn't reject anything. Those ideas took root and became part of the paradigm that controls every aspect of your life. And if you notice, as you've gotten older, you've probably looked in the mirror or you've probably said something and there you said, "Oh, I sound like my mother. I sound like my father. I sound like my grandmother. I sound like my grandfather." That's what a paradigm is. It's that influence that we had when we were younger and growing up that now causes us to act and react the way that they did. And unfortunately, we're not taught about paradigms in school. So we go 20, 30, 40, even 60 years living the same way we were programmed as little kids. And like I've already explained, that paradigms largely control our habitual behavior. Now, let's take a minute and look at some other aspects of our lives that paradigms have enormous influence over. It controls our perception, the way we use time, it even controls our creativity, our effectiveness, our productivity, our logic, the way we think, and even our ability to earn money or to work or the job that we have. Sometimes we're limited by these paradigms, so we get stuck in a rut. We get stuck in this vicious routine cycle because this is the way mama did it. This is the way daddy did it. This is the way grandma did it. This is the way our family have. That's the way they've done it for years. Whether right or wrong, it's a paradigm that needs to be broken. The paradigm puts us in a box and around every one of those areas. And no matter how hard you try, you can't knock down the walls until you change your mental program. And how to identify yours mental program, your mental constructs. Changing your paradigm could set you free from the constraints that have kept you from realizing your full potential and all the good you desire. However, you cannot be free until you know exactly what currently governs and shapes and directs your thoughts and ultimately your behavior and your results. So, let's look at some things to identify your paradigm. And I encourage you to take some time to get a clear picture of your life by answering these questions. You know, what characteristics were passed on to you from your mother's side of the family, from your father's side of the family? Um, in the early part of your life, was your family wealthy, middle class, poor? Did your parents work? Think about where you are right now in life, your work, your finances, your relationships, your health, family, your state of mind in general. How would you characterize your life today? What's your current income? What's the most you've earned in a year? With the knowledge you presently have, what do you believe you could earn if you gave your absolute best? What do you think you could create if you gave your absolute best? What do you think you could accomplish if you gave your absolute best? You know, what's the biggest and most exciting goal that you've ever achieved? What's the most exciting goal that you would like to achieve? What's your routine throughout the day? What's your morning routine? What's your evening routine? What are some of the things that you're doing that you can look back and say, wow, I'm doing it the same way that my parents did it or my grandparents did it? Are you genuinely enthusiastic about how you spend your day? If you're not, what would you rather be doing? Name the six people that you spend the most time with. If you have children, uh, how do you want them to grow up? Do you want them to be like these six people that you hang out with the most, that you spend the most time with? Why would you want them to be like these people? Or maybe why not? Why you don't want them to be like these people you hang out with? These are paradigms that you need to shift if it's, I don't want my children to be like this, or if I don't want to be like this. Answering these questions and similar questions will help you zero in on your paradigm and identify what's controlling the results you're getting in your life. You want better results? Then if you're not happy with the results you're getting in life and you'd like to do better, you can change your paradigm. However you want, however you want to be able to do it with self-will alone. In fact, there are only two ways to do it. One is an emotional impact, that is when something hits you so hard that your life will never be the same. It's usually negative in nature, but it can also be something that is positive. The second way is to change the paradigm in the same manner it was formed, through repetition of ideas. It's exposing yourself to a new idea over and over again, intending to replace an old belief that is in your subconscious mind. And the way I do this is with affirmations of I can, I have, I do, I'm able, I'm capable, all of those things. You know, choose a new paradigm is through a multitude of ideas that are programmed in our subconscious mind that we act on without giving any thought. Use your answers to the questions that we just talked about to identify the paradigm you wish to change. Understanding that changing just a small part of the old paradigm can make an enormous difference in the results that you're receiving, that you're getting in life. And a great way to start is to consciously replace a bad habit with a practice that will create better results. Otherwise, you might form another bad habit to take the place of the old habit. So be careful. Also, use the answers from the questions that we talked about to identify limiting beliefs. We have to change some of those old belief constructs, those old beliefs that we have, that we've um, that's been passed down to us over the years through generations. Those old belief systems that no longer serve us. And if you're doing the same thing that you've always done and you're still getting the same result and you're not happy with it, then that means it needs to change. Choose a new idea that's aligned with the results that you want and the habits that will lead you to where you want to be. And when I say choose better habits, I mean maybe you need to create a habit of getting up early in the morning and making your bed. The first thing I do every morning is make my bed because that's my first accomplishment of the day. And then I go throughout the day accomplishing one task after another so that it leads me to achieving my goal. Whatever that goal is for the day, I have tasks that I complete systematically in order. And usually I put my task in the easiest to accomplish so that because when you can accomplish one task, then it makes it more motivating to accomplish the next task. Impress your new ideas by focusing on them, visualizing, and reading or saying it with feeling. On your subconscious mind, you want to be repetitive and say the things that you want to accomplish and use it in the present affirming tense. I have, I did, I can. And I know you will agree that life and it should be a tremendous enthusiastic adventure. It shouldn't be the humdrums. No more effort or energy is required to aim high in life or to demand abundance and prosperity than it is required to accept misery or poverty. It's the same energy to either accept the good or to accept the bad. You're still expending the same energy level, so choose to accept the good. Don't be afraid to step out of the box and do something entirely different. Treat these suggestions with seriousness and care they deserve. In your life and in your future, your potential is infinite. Go for a change that is big and bold and beautiful because you can do this. You're more than enough. And you have all the power within you to make these changes. So shift that paradigm, that old paradigm that no longer serves you. That paradigm that says you can't do it, you're too poor, you're too uneducated, that paradigm that says this is the way our family has been for ages and this is the way it is. No, break out of that box, break out of that old paradigm and start creating a new paradigm of I can, I believe, I am powerful, I am smart enough, I am capable of doing this, and go forth and create a new day for you. Create a new reality, create a new life, a new lifestyle. What is it that you want? Go for it. Now go take on the day.